2 meals a day. Now, that's a dietary strategy that I usually would not recommend, but lately I've seen more and more people do quite well with this, and I've tried this out. Now, it also used to be that we thought you can only absorb about 30 grams of protein at a time, and then having only 2 meals a day would not give you enough intake to get enough protein. But now we know that that's actually not the case. You can absorb up to 100 grams of protein at one time, and possibly more. So there shouldn't really be a limit to that. And I think when you design these meals well, obviously they're going to be very big meals and they're focused on protein, you still want to keep your total carbs within reason and your fat fairly low, then this actually does work. And the nice thing about it is for some people, they need this satiety. So they're saying, well, I'm having these small meals and I'm never really full. I don't feel good. And that's psychologically a big problem. I always recommend for anyone to have a first big meal in the morning that sets up your day, where you actually feel very full. And besides getting your protein in the morning, which is actually very important, it also gives you this feeling of satiety, which psychologically sets you up later on in the day not to crave food as much. And there are several studies that have shown this. So having more food early in the day, bigger meals, higher protein, really helps you to keep those cravings in the afternoon, evening down. But again, if you do this with 2 meals, you make them very large and you have enough protein in there, that's absolutely doable. Again, it's not my ideal, but on some days when I want to do a bit of a longer fast, where I actually would then start fasting earlier, when I have maybe like a 17, 18-hour fast overnight, then I would have my lunch a little bit later, and that's my second big meal, and that's sufficient then. But again, you have to design it right. So I think it's doable. I used to recommend against it, so I changed my mind about this one because I've seen it work for some people. I implement it sometimes, and if this works for you, I think it's fantastic because, again, it's an easy strategy. You just have these 2 big meals, and the rest of the day you don't have to worry about food. So that seems to work. The key thing then, of course, is after you're done eating, don't have any more calories. Of course, then you really have to cut it off. That means just water in that time and don't consume any more calories after your last meal.